Hello, this is Willhouse Darkrock, and welcome back to my Let's Play / appreciation / farewell to Dawn of War Soulstorm. I really had a good time playing this game a lot when I was very little. And by little I mean maybe 10 years ago. And it's been a lot of fun playing it. I just marvel at how awesome this game is. I think it's a lot better than Warcraft 3. I think really Dawn of War 1 basically took the whole base building concept and took it to its highest level. You don't see anything like that anymore, actually. Warcraft 3 came along, and basically it took Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 basically made bases a little bit irrelevant, and the focus was on your army, not exactly base building, so it changed the dynamic. But whereas Dawn of War basically accepted infinite resources like Total Annihilation did, it kept on going with it, and it had a situation where the only way to really win was by taking points across the map. And Warcraft 3 kind of tried to achieve this. Let me amp up the speed here. Warcraft 3 tried to achieve this by having hero units that would gain veterancy. And that's not to say that units in Warhammer 40k don't gain veterancy, but a lot of it's different. Your heroes, your commanders by the way, come with stuff, and you can purchase things, but it isn't based on experience. Maybe look at the other guy. The other way, the way Warhammer 40k does it, Dawn of War, is that you have to go around conquering things, not based on experience. Let me... Oops, not that slow. And so it did it without making you have super high units. So you never hear about creep jacking. There's no creeps really in any multiplayer map. And this came out in 2009, so it's a little bit ahead of Warcraft 3. But I think this is the epitome of the old RTS system. If you really loved Command and Conquer, if you really loved Total Annihilation, I loved both of those. Really a Total Annihilation I just love, and I did a Let's Play of that as well. I just haven't finished it as of this recording. Then you should love this as well. And the units here are excellent models you can focus in on and zoom in on, and yeah, to me this is the, I'm going to use an analogy for this. If you know who Richard Strauss is, he's a composer that came about in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think 40s and 50s. And of course he did that, he did, what's the name of that song? Anyway, it goes da 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 dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, the name of it is Also sprach Zarathustra, which is another word for Thus Spoke Zarathustra, which is a book by a German philosopher. So it's a composer writing about a book from a philosopher. Zarathustra is another name for Zoroaster, if you know what Zoroastrianism is. Anyway, this guy, Richard Strauss, this is long after the advent of polytonal music, which came about in the 1920s or so, and serialism and all sorts of other stuff. He perfected a system that was long since dead. Bach kind of did the same thing. So, and I think the same thing about Windows 7. Windows 7 took the Windows idea and perfected it. I still love Windows 7, and I switch it to the classic theme, and I just love playing Windows 7 on old computers that, you know, struggled with Windows XP, yet somehow do excellent with Windows 7. Alright, this guy is having a countdown because he took this critical point, which he can't build a listening post on, and since he has 2/3, he's going to win the game unless this guy can undo it. Now you notice the Necrons again, they don't have to conquer these points. It helps them to do so because they can build stuff quicker, but they have these, like I said, they have these plasma generators, and they rely on power. So if the Dark Eldar came in and just took out a bunch of these, they'd be good. I'm watching a recorded game. It's hard to do. Sega released a patch for this game really late into its life cycle to make it still playable by people. The trouble is, when you upgrade to a new version, it spoils it. So Even though no balance changes were made by the most recent Sega update, it still prevents you from playing old games. So if you go to gamereplays.org, there's tons of games you won't be able to play. I used to be able to play them when I first played this game. And in the last few years, those have been made irrelevant. Now there's one called that, I forget the name of the website, but you can download replays. Anyway, this perfects a system that was on its way out. And Dawn of War 2, its sequel, takes hints from Warcraft 3, and you have commander units. You have 1 to 3 commander units, a lot like Warcraft 3 did. And it reduces base battle, makes it more about squad combat. So it's this is the last of its kind. I still like this game a little bit better than Dawn of War 2. Dawn of War 2 has a very good storyline. But Dawn of War 2, you don't see a lot of these races. You don't see the Dark Eldar, you don't see the Necrons. You see Chaos and Orcs. You see Tyranids. You don't see Tyranids in this game. But you won't really see Sigils of Battle. You do see Imperial Guard, as of the most recent DLC, which Dawn of War 2 basically is done at this point. They're probably going to make another one, but kind of silly to say it's the Dawn of War. Warhammer 40k takes place in the 41st millennium. They use one of their powers. If I had to stop it right now, I think this Necron people aren't doing so good. A good Necron player really does use their commander, and I don't see their commander being used effectively here. They have a big army, but yeah, I don't see them being good. This is just like Warcraft 3. This is not a game that favors porcupining and staying behind solid defenses. Anyway, on Steam, whenever I reach 200 hours, I stop playing the game, and I'm at about 176 right now.
4 minutes until take and hold victory.
So, I probably won't play this game anymore. I may watch some recordings, but this was, like I said, this was my farewell to this game. That guy's been targeted, so they can kind of see what he's seen. And it's just such a great game, the last of its kind. Oh, the other composer did that was Bach. By the time Bach came along, his system of writing had already gone away. He perfected a system that was already on its way out. And this is what Dawn of War did. There's the Necron Lord. He is extremely powerful. I happen to think that if Dark Eldar could be capitalizing on this, if they spent time perfecting everything, they should be able to go ahead and assault these people. Necrons are great at range, but the Dark Eldar army is almost completely melee, and if a bunch of people engage them in melee, they would be out of it. Unfortunately, the Dark Eldar have a real bizarre tech tree, in which case it's oftentimes better to actually build flying and vehicle units before you start building infantry, because their infantry is really pretty weak. See how he teleported there? Wow, that is good. That is excellent. I feel that they should engage theirs. If they've upgraded these guys fairly well, once again, when they engage them in melee, they won't be able to fire. Alright, I keep on interrupting my thoughts by just commentating on this game. Maybe it's just a commenting as opposed to commentating. Who knows? That's like aleatoric and aleatory, or flammable and inflammable. It's like they kind of go both ways. I guess you can't commentate. Maybe you can comment on a potato, then you'd be a commentator. Comment potato? Anyway, okay. Love this game. Oh, we got a little bit... Well, let me go and fast forward this, by the way, if it's going to take so long. And let's go ahead and see everybody. The Dark Eldar, Dark Eldar really could beat this in a second. Wow. They, this unit landed on top of them, and if it does that, it almost instantly demoralizes them. The Necrons are using their power to prevent ranged attacks, but since the Dark Eldar are almost completely melee, it does almost no good. Alright, yes! I was about to say, if they could engage in some actual base assault, these guys are so weak that they would do so much damage. Alright, this is about dead. That's alright. Can I fast forward this at all? I can't. I may have to leave you in suspense. I tell you what, I gotta do something kind of quick, and I'll be right back.